How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast, back with another video for the episode reviews for Hawkeye. I'm actually really freaking hyped, especially for like the last bit of the episode. You wanna know why? And by the way, this is gonna be heavily spoilered, or at least to an extent, there's gonna be spoilers about what goes on in the episode. All in all, this is really cool, and I think it's already confirmed. I'm going to assume it's already confirmed for Spider-Man, but to a degree, the universe for Netflix's Daredevil may be in the same universe as the MCU. Why? We got fucking Kingpin, and not just any Kingpin. We got the same guy that played Kingpin in, or at least somebody that looks like him. We got the somebody that looked like the actor, who I believe, if I remember correctly, was Vincent D'Onofrio. So, yeah, I'm actually really hyped about this, because I actually really liked Daredevil, the series, the Netflix series, and especially with what we got to see for the 3 seasons. And for the most part, I'm really excited for this. So, and quite possibly could set this up for Spider-Man, because Kingpin was a big villain for Spider-Man too. So, anyways, going further. So it starts off with Yelena, from who is the sister of Natasha, Black Widow, apparently going around and trying to unindoctrinate the Black Widows, and to an extent stop them from, being part of the Black Widow Society, or whatever it's called, for the assassination group. After saving, or what she assumed was saving one of her sisters, she goes into the room to kind of, splash water on her face, but she ends up being blipped. And then she ends up seeing, unfortunately, what was 5 seconds for her ends up being 5 years. And she kind of sees what happens afterwards. There, like, the sister that they were going to save apparently, got married, had kids, or adopted kids, because they can't have children of their own. But to a degree, she also finds out about Natasha. At least that's how she finds out about Natasha, to a certain degree. And we also have a really cool moment with her, because to an extent, Kate tries to go out and go back to her apartment, and has a one-on-one with Yelena. And it's actually a really cool moment, and it actually brings up, it kind of gives her point of view of Hawkeye, and actually says, it has says a line that has a lot of weight to it, where they discuss, the value, the value of a person is more of what they do than just nice words, or saying nice words. To a degree, especially with, I'm just gonna say it, especially with something that is needed in society today. Not trying to go political or anything. At this point, go by the value of the individual, or by the value of the individual's actions, not by the value of the individual's, like, sexuality or skin color or whatever. That's, I hate, again, I'm not trying to go political, but that's something that unfortunately a lot of people forget, is by the value of what they do rather than what they look like or what they represent. But anyways, going further, we have a moment with that, and Yelena basically says flat out that she's going to kill Clint. And Clint is slowly realizing that, for a large degree, that this isn't going to end pretty, especially with how things are getting worse and worse now that a Black Widow assassin is going after him. So, after a really touching moment with Memorial, he kind of to an extent wants to kind of gives us this dialogue where he wants to talk to, and for the worst, probably one of the most hardest choices to make, he wants to talk to Natasha. You know how, like, in some scenes where you have the main character kind of like consoling the dead of their decision, and afterwards he then proceeds to kind of set up a meeting with the sweatsuit mafia, and proceeds to take them, not kill them, but, incapacitate them one by one till there was only Maya left, and dons the Ronin outfit once again, beating down Maya, not killing her, but proceeds to take off his mask to show her who he is, that he was Ronin. Also mentions the fact that he was called by the boss, their boss, the big head, the guy that was completely in charge, and was given a tip that Hawkeye, Clint, was given a tip by the boss, or at least by somebody who was, second to the boss, to take out that segment of the sweatsuit, which unfortunately had Maya's father. And she kind of starts having doubts on who actually killed, to that degree, who actually killed her dad. Near the end, when it gets closer to the end, which we had a quick save before Maya is able to take out Hawkeye, he saved by Kate, who hacked his phone to track him. They proceed to go and, for the last moment, hang out at the firefighter that we saw in one of the earlier episodes, or a couple of the earlier episodes. And we find out this really big bombshell. Which, by the way, another thing too that I should mention is they investigate the Sloan Industries, and at first we think that that the real culprit is being caught, that being, Jack. But turns out that might not actually be the case, because Eleanor, Kate's mom, we get a picture thanks to Yelena, and she mentions the person that hired her was Elena, and showed her a picture of Elena, or Eleanor, and Kingpin, like the last bit. And to an extent, Hawkeye is like, yeah, this is the guy I was kind of worried about. Sure enough, yeah, it's Kingpin. Not only that, and as I said, for my excitement, it looks like the guy that played Kingpin for the Netflix Daredevil series, which honestly, again, is pretty cool. And it's going to be nice if they get the chance to reprise their roles again as, who they are. Matt Murdock, obviously, as well as the guy who plays Kingpin. That honestly would be really, really freaking cool. And I would just absolutely accept that, because that is he played such a good Kingpin in the previous shows that he was in. Again, with, that being Daredevil. So, all in all, I am really excited for future episodes. Don't know what to expect at this point, but all in all, and I will admit that there was a moment where I was like, even though they were arresting Jack to an extent, part of me kind of felt like, no, this doesn't feel right. Like, it must be Eleanor that's actually doing it. And sure enough, that's what it shows. So, all in all, again, I don't know what to expect now. I'm really excited, and I'm kind of hoping that they don't fuck it up. Especially for, again, a character that hasn't, besides the movies, hasn't had that much screen time. So, I'm really, really, really freaking excited for this. So, with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for also checking out my episode reviews. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and one last little detail that I forgot to mention. In the end credits, they play You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, which was originally voiced or sang by Thor Ravencroft, who a lot of people might know him as the original voice for Tony the Tiger. Which, honestly, when it comes to the song, I figured that would be a great touch, especially for the bombshell that we got near the very end of the episode. Alright, figured I'd just give that a little bit. Thank you, guys.